1 million Liberian dollars deposited over a year. 13% of 100,000 will be what, 13,000. Yeah. Then if you put USD there, you get 10.25% added to your money. You can start with as little as 100,000 LD and 500 USD. That's what you can start with. Locate us on 10th Street, Cinco, or call us, and we will come to you. First National Savings and Loans Liberia will put you and your business first. Call First National Savings and Loans Liberia on 0779 206 231. 0779 206 231. Or 086 027 466. 0886 027 466. Some Liberian song by the Morovia Community Mass Choir. They have a program coming up soon. In fact, Wednesday, the holiday, day after tomorrow, is Project My Voice Final at Harvest, former Bethel Cathedral right there in Congo Town. Make sure we meet there 4 p.m. on the holiday. That's where you should be. It is the only place you have to be. Music is a food for the soul. What a song.
You're glorious, Jesus. There's none compared to your greatness. Forever you are God. We let you up. We let you, Daddy. We let you up. Yeah. Oh,
Indeed, forever he's God. Nobody else can take his glory. Nobody else can come near whom he is. He's just all by himself. He's God forever, and he is whom he is. Welcome to the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. A whole lot of things. So, the government of Liberia, through the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Augustine Kpehe Gafwan, has said that they will begin the construction of 100 schools in Liberia beginning September this year. And I know it has struck up discussions on social media, policy discussions. Some people say, do we continue building more schools? Or do we empower, make better, enhance the quality in the ones we already have first? That is a discussion. And for those of us that also did courses that are not necessarily education courses but related to it, we can weigh in. Why does the government want to build 100 schools? It may not be all the 100 schools starting at the same time, but that's the target. Clearly, it's an issue of access. A whole lot of children are still out of school, thousands of them. Some cannot afford the private institutions. In some towns, there are not private schools. Only public schools are supposed to be there. Public schools are not there. There are private schools, but parents cannot afford the cost of the private schools. So you end up having out-of-school children. Yet there are public schools there, but the public schools cannot just cater to the population of students that are supposed to attend public schools in those districts. For example, the District 11, for example, the Bannersville area, that whole Bannersville area. I think high school, there's Guich. I don't know if there's another public high school there. I'm not sure. But I don't think I know of one. The Guich itself is overcrowded. And there are still people who may have liked to go to public schools. But since that one is overcrowded, that's it. There are some districts that are not public high schools there, and people have been calling for them. So the argument is valid about equipping, enhancing the quality of the already existing ones. I have not seen the report that led to the government concluding about 100 schools to be built over a period. However, I would think that may be too much. And I do think the two things can happen at the same time. We can be upgrading, enhancing the quality of existing ones while building other ones in areas that are actually well needed. I think those two things can happen together, but with also an understanding of limited resources that are supposed to go across different sectors. That is why I think it will be a good thing to meet both halfway, equipping, making better on one end, making sure the necessary teachers are there. You hear these cries from different places. Certain schools, especially in the rural parts, lack certain teachers. So all of those things should be happening in tandem. It is a good thing, though, but I do believe they should be happening in tandem. So there has been an issue with Liberians and especially students living in India with what was seemingly some level of violence striking up between both countries, India and Pakistan, but with the intervention of the Americans, it seems that has gone down now. So the Foreign Affairs Ministry was assuring people that students were safe, even though there were so many calls and messages from students living there that things were getting really terrible between the two countries. We hope that is now under control. We are going. Okay. Now, also, drivers. Drivers from some counties started a go-slow action on today. Drivers of different vehicles, those who also cross the borders to go to other countries. We heard from Cape Mount, the whole Western region this morning on our sisters program, Liberia at 10. They were speaking to the correspondents, Nimba, Magibi, and the drivers are not happy. They are speaking about an ongoing issue between them and police, intimidation, alleged intimidation and harassment, and overcharging of tickets and all those kinds of things allegedly being carried out by the police, and they're not happy. You know, they are not happy about that. They think the measures being taken against them are stringent, and the police are always stretching their hands, allegedly. Saw some of his men stretching hands, and and he was able to seize their plastics, their susu. I am told that some of them are in susu, so every day they have to make sure to hit certain amount, take some money from the drivers and all of that. He gave the money to the policeman, he folds it and puts it in his pocket or wherever. So they are overstretching now. They have elevated begging. You know, the police people can really beg. The traffic police people, they can really beg. They are not even crafty at begging again. They're not crafty again. Before they will find a way to wrap you and be a little crafty, and you will give something. But now they're not crafty. They're very clear-eyed in their begging. Very not strategic at all. But they are over begging, and the drivers are, apart from harassment, intimidation, they seem to be begging with figures attached. Yeah, I can beg now. I can see that. I can't get anything though. I always dodging them. Policemen so good, I can't get them nothing. Yeah, but they can really beg, They can beg. So they're over begging. They can beg the drivers now with price, begging with price. Driver, let me found you. Beggar with pride and dignity. So the drivers are not happy. So they parked their vehicles, and it was really troubling for passengers this morning, and that's not a good thing. When these kinds of things start to happen in a government, you have to start paying attention. Keen attention. People downing tools, the vehicles are the tools of the drivers. So if they're downing them because of these things, it is not about who's in power and who's not in power. It's the fact that there is something that they think is untoward. There is something that is eating away at their livelihood and all of that. And it seems they've spoken and spoken and spoken. There hasn't been a resolution. And so they've taken one step further. Pay attention, police authorities, and resolve the issue. These people are very important, because if it continues, even if we have 100 NTAs, it cannot service everybody. We already have an NTA that is still struggling to get on its feet. Then people start to feel the pinch, and then the complaints move up, they escalate from just the drivers to now passengers, other people. And then people who bring food products to Monrovia and other things, they cannot come. Things start to become scarce. Hardship and all of those things start to intervene. So please handle the matter as you can, as you should. Like yesterday, I think it is easily resolvable. Good. So this morning, our correspondents in the county went to Bapolu. There is an issue with the water supply in Bapolu. They confirmed that. And Mo Ali also called in on the show, the managing director, and he tried to explain what was happening. But I want to speak with somebody who's also versed in the water sector, who has worked there. Let's hear his take on this whole Bapolu water supply thing. So let's read what OKFM reported. A newly installed water system by the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation in Bapolu has stopped delivering water just months after it was commissioned, for especially children to walk long distances to fetch water from hand pumps. An ongoing visit to the area, reporters on OKFM observed groups of children carrying gallons and buckets, trekking back and forth between their homes and distant hand pumps. Community members expressed frustration, revealing that while the LWSC water system initially worked well, it unexpectedly ceased operations without public explanation. The current operator of the water facility suggested to OKFM reporters that the problem lies in the depth of the well, claiming it was too shallow to maintain a reliable supply. Okay. However, in the live phone interview on the OK Money Rush show Monday, Mo Ali, managing director of the LWSC, dismissed the operator's explanation. Ali pointed instead to human error and a lack of technical expertise, revealing that the facility's pump control switch was damaged due to improper handling by the operator. The issue is not the depth of the well, Ali said. The real problem is that the operator was not adequately trained and accidentally damaged the switch that controls the water pump. Ali confirmed that the faulty switch will be replaced and assured residents that a team of LWSC technicians will arrive in Bapolu to conduct a comprehensive assessment of the system. He further disclosed that as part of the response, the local operator will receive hands-on technical training to prevent future mishaps. Recognizing the growing demand for clean water in Bapolu, Ali also noted that a single well is insufficient for the town's population. He revealed that plans are already in motion to construct a second well to supplement the current water system. That is what Mo said. Well, LWSC giving the explanation of the operator who is there. So it's a big contradiction between the operator and the managing director. The operator is saying, the sun hat where it's not very deep, so the water dry. By the way, as we are speaking, we have water shortage. Water is not coming from the 36-inch main line because of a rupture that occurred. So that whole side Pinzo to come to Central Monrovia, we're all out of water. LWSC say they are doing everything they can to resolve the matter. It is an old, decrepit system. Very, very terrible system. So it is always rupturing. That's why we're not getting water. Then Bapoluans are also without water, which the operator says is the depth of the world. The managing director says no, it's not the depth of the world. That operator is not adequately trained. Why did you send him there? So that's a problem with LWSC. It is not a problem with the operator. Because if he's not adequately trained and he's still there, eh, why, why, why didn't an adequately trained person was sent there? Why? Why did we have to send somebody to a new system that required a bit of technical know-how to be there? So first of all, that is a problem with the FWSC. That's one. Two, this has been in the news for some time now. You know, it has been in the news for some time now. We've been hearing this about issue. So if this was about switch, what has been the delay for which the switch hasn't been carried there? These are the kinds of things that we are talking about. I want to speak with somebody. I'm trying to find something. I want to find something first because there's another claim made by Mo Ali that I wanted to see. So that's what we're going back to. I know I have it somewhere. So this is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We are right here. Very big things are coming up there ahead of us. Big things are ahead of us. Big things are ahead of us. Okay, but let me speak with Peter Wisdom Fire. Okay. Peter Wisdom Fire. Let's get. Okay. Let's hear his take on this whole water issue as an expert in the area. Okay. Okay. So, one of the other claims made by Mo is that what has changed, and he needs to explain. It says, recognizing the growing demand for clean water in Bopolu, Ali also noted. Why are you moving? Ali also noted that a single well is insufficient. No, but he told us before, given the population and the daily output capacity of the water system there, he told us that it could serve them. That it could. So why is it a problem now? Why one well cannot serve the people now? Those are things that need to be explained. We made progress. So, last week, we saw the coming into the country of the president of Barbados. The Barbadian president was here. And historically, Liberia and Barbados have ties. In fact, I've seen videos, I've read stuff where in the 1800s, Liberia provided safe haven. Liberia provided a space for Barbadians to enjoy good life. A Central American island country. They were brought here, the government gave them land. Some of them were plumbers, they were farmers, they were mailers, they were different kinds of people, 300 plus families. They came to Liberia, settled in a place called Crozierville. So we have that historical link. And so the president, Sandra Prunella Mason, became president in 2020 when she was a governor. So they got independence in the 60s and then became a republic in 2021. A very small place, 430 to 439 kilometers square, all across. It's a small island country. The latest check of the CIA fact book puts them at 300 plus thousand, just around the population of Margibi County, more than twice coming out of Nimba County. That's how small the country is. And the argument has been, why should Liberia befriend countries like Barbados? Small, tiny countries, and that kind of thought stems from the fact that it's the aid mindset. What can they give? Why can Liberia benefit out of being friends with Barbados? Why can we benefit as a country? A small country, we got more population than they do. Why can we benefit out of them? Why is President Boakai wasting the country? Why is he wasting resources? Inviting the president like that. In fact, the government itself felt ashamed, I believe, to publicize the visit of the president of Barbados, because we did not hear about it. I think Front Page Africa reported a couple of days earlier to a visit, and then I tried to check Executive Mansion website. I didn't see a Facebook page. I didn't see Foreign Affairs. I didn't see Information Ministry. I didn't see. I said, I wanted to report it, but I was trying to call people to find out what are the details. Is she actually coming? So there was not much publicity. If you said Donald Trump was coming to Liberia, maybe since January this year, we will be talking about, the government will be talking about it. The supporters, government officials will be all on social media. Oh, for 6 years, no American president visited Liberia. But Donald Trump is coming. To brag. When George Bush was coming to this country for months, it was big news and all that. It means American president comes to your country. When he came, one of the major things he did was to give us books. Was to tell us that you're a smart thinking people. You're not reading enough. You should read. Increase your IQ. That's why we're bringing someone here at 5 o'clock to talk about that. Increase your IQ to think better. So why you thinking, say, American president coming waste money on you? No, you don't need money. Because I can give you billions of dollars. You will spoil it. You will steal it. You will fight over it. You will damage yourselves. So I'll give you books. Gain knowledge. I'm taking you somewhere. I plan to show you how to speak to your minds, to change your thinking today about yourself and your country and what you do. So the government is, why we coming to us so much? So they didn't publicize it. And she came low key, not bad. Okay. So the 160th anniversary of Cruiserville establishment and all of those things, I do believe this should have been a pivotal visit. And I do not believe certain key things that should have been captured were captured. I don't think so. Maybe they read my post. Maybe they will go in furtherance of some of the things I wrote. But I will have to say them here, because not all of you who are friends with me or who follow me on social media. When you're in a country, despite your political leaning, despite your belief and whatsoever, don't just talk because you think it will be fine, it will be okay, or because someone that you believe in says it, so you just run with it and blah blah blah. You should think too. So before this visit, okay, I've heard about Barbados, but I've not read about it. I've not taken time to really, like I would do Singapore and other countries. I didn't take time out to really until this. So when I saw the different writings, the way the government treated the visit and all of that, I said, well, let me go read about this country. Let me do some deep diving. All right, different materials. And I said, well, we always make a mistake. We are in elementary. But we can be trying to, as a country, we can be trying to compare ourselves with people who are doing masters and PhDs, countries that have masters and PhD level. What is the friendship? What is the understanding that can exist between elementary student and master degree student and PhD student? Liberia, in terms of development and everything, we went to elementary level. We've not really started. But we think it is okay when it is America, when it is Europe, if it was a European president and somebody from Europe, from France, from Germany, from Italy, and blah, blah, blah. Because that's just bragging rights to make muff. Our tiny president Kenya. Your country, our country, is it near becoming anything in America? How are you inspired by United States of America, by a European country? How can you be it is an effeminate, it is a weakling inspiration because you too far away. A junior high student can be friendly with elementary student, inspired, and it's easier. Say, yeah, I can get to junior high. Yeah. Master's degree, PhD, why so much? You go America, the way everything far away from your country, you will even get weak to want to carry out development. So you need proximity in terms of approach, culture, furtherance, ideas, minds, to improve and encourage yourself. And that is where we've always missed it. For social media showboating and talk showboating, upmanship. We just want to be associated pictures of the big names. Oh, our president took a picture of Donald Trump. Our president took a picture of Joe Biden. Our president took a picture with Macron. Now, why would me Liberia be like France? No. Now, Barbados. When you have a mindset about moving from point A to point B, you should be encouraged by people who are at point B or point C, who you can look up to and say, what? This wasn't I graduated from college together. If they can be this, they can strive. So, in 1860 something, 70 something, 80 something, 90 something, up to 1900, blah, 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 up to 1960, blah, 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 it appears to me that Liberia is better than Barbados. Yeah. But right now, I was consulting different things. I was reading different things. I read BBC. I read the CIA fact book. I read statistics. I read PwC reports. I read the central bank reports, the finance ministry reports of Barbados. Let me tell you this. So like I told you, it's a very small country. A little over 300,000 people. Their GDP, as small as they are, is around 7.55 billion. All of the economic activities taking place. The country's 2024-2025 budget is elapsing. Barbados budget. You know that how much? Small country whose population is the Margibi. But do you also know that it can come from inside Margibi? How many times? You know how small it is? It is so small that it can come from inside Margibi 6 times. The land area of Barbados, it can come from inside Margibi. That Margibi right down there. It can come from inside 6 times. So I'm trying to give you an idea of what thinking people do. So similar population, smaller land size, their budget 2024-2025 budget stood at $2.33 billion. What did you hear me say? 2.33 billion. Why your country budget has ever reached 1 billion before? No. Then you're supposed to sit up and say, okay. So bear that, keep that one in your mind. Now, the analysis done by Statista, their new 2025-2026 budget that they are pushing, the things that they want to do. The things I read in that budget from the Minister of Finance, what they want to do, according to Statista, will put their expenditure for $25.13 billion US dollars. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. The things they want to do with education, with housing, with health. But I made progress. According to the CIA fact book, they have a literacy rate, there's a literacy reading and writing, a reading and writing rate of 99.6%. They are spending 6.5% of their GDP on education, according to the 2021 estimates of the CIA fact book. 98.8% of their population have access to improved water sources. How many of us in Liberia have access to improved water sources? We stay fighting with water and sewer to bring water. More alien got a kind of power and start trying again. Small. Now sense I want to put in your head. In other words, sense. When you're thinking, you gotta think. Let's make progress. According to the CIA 100% of improved sanitation facilities. 100% improved. I did not write it. I've not been to Barbados. In fact, I'm very encouraged to go to places like Barbados now. But I've not been there. It is there. 100% improved sanitation facilities. How many of us, in fact, how many of you are using the beaches? How many of you are sending planes? You know, plane, you put it in the plaza and you turn it, and you send it and go boop. How many of us can go in the bushes? I don't want to be graphic, but you know what I'm talking about. The whole country, 100%. Spending 8.1% of their GDP on health. The 2022 report shows that 2.96 physicians, a population of 1,000 human beings, have access to at least almost three doctors. What is a patient to doctor ratio in Liberia? Google it for yourself. I'm not going to do that research for you. Just say doctor to patient ratio in Liberia. Go Google it. Yeah. Well, I should help y'all. We all doing a show together, so we gotta be doing the research together, yeah? Doctor to patient ratio. Eh? You know how to spell ratio? RATIO in Liberia. Eh. What does it say? Liberia has a significantly low doctor to patient ratio with approximately one doctor for every 15,000 to 20,000 people, according to recent statistics and reports. This is far below the World Health Organization's recommended ratio of 1 to 1,000 for adequate health care service. The Liberia Medical and Dental Council reported that in 2016 the country had 298 doctors for a population of 4.5. Now the population was around 5.2 or more. One doctor for 15,000 to 20,000 human beings. The World Health said it should be at least one doctor to 1,000 human beings. In Barbados, almost 3 doctors to 1,000 person. We made progress. So the BBC, the CIA, they say they describe this country here as a prosperous, high-income Caribbean island with a relatively high standard of living. But you are only, for political gain and beam off making. You only look at the fact that small country is never heard of and all of that, so it doesn't count. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of anything. How do you tap into these kinds of things? It's not to ask Barbados for money. Way back when Barbadians were looking for good life, United States of America is not far away from them. Some of them went there. But when they were looking for good life, some of them came to Liberia because Liberia gave them an opportunity to live. Should I tell you about electricity? Should I tell you about their electricity access? Go read the CIA fact book on Barbados. See if he bad. So why is Julius saying all of these things? Now, when Singapore, a pariah at the time, when they wanted to grow and develop, you know what they did? They sent different people. Now, listen, they don't have resources. They don't have resources. They send different people, different places, all over the world. All over the world, they send different people to learn educational systems, different places. So what they did, they sent some people to African nations, to European nations, to America, Southeast Asia, their own Asian places, and blah, blah, blah. Different technical people, experts, policy people, for different reasons, send them to different countries, see what they're doing, learn from what they're doing. Then they came home, put all of that together, blended it within their system, and took out what worked for them. I believe these kinds of visits should have engendered a conversation that allows our government to sponsor some of its policy people. Go to countries like Barbados. How can you be this small? They say, our population suffering. But you very, very small. You can cover our population more than 15 times. Yeah? More than 15 times your population is covering our population. How can your budget is higher than ours? Let me take you back to the CIA file book. So you hear plenty of things. Yeah? Let me bring you more. Okay. So what are their natural resources? Petroleum, fish, natural gas. Forest, 14.7%. Arable land, 16.3%. Population, we already told you that. The males are 146,587. Females, 157,552, a 2024 estimate of the CIA fact book. So it means they got more women than men. Okay. Yeah. 11,000 plus women more. Percent of population. I told you that already. So on improved water sources, just 2% of the population. Current health expenditure, 8.1% of GDP 2021. I will tell you all of that. Hospital bed density, 6 beds, 1,000 population, 2017 estimate. That may have improved mightily now. 6 beds to a 1,000 population. How many beds you get to our million population? Go check it. We told you about sanitation facility. We told you about education expenditure. Literacy, we told you 99.6%. And land use, agriculture, 23.3%. They're not even getting anything from the forest resources because the 2018 estimates show 0.01% of GDP. So they're not even dependent on it. Okay. The economy. High income Eastern Caribbean economy. High standard of living among regional peers. Key tourism, construction, and financial sectors driving recent GDP growth. Declining but still very high public debt, leading to IMF support programs susceptible to natural disasters, and reliance on import partners. Yeah, so they have their issues. Real GDP per capita, 19,200, 2023 estimate. So the real GDP here, it means what? The total economic activity in the country divided by the number of people. If they were to divide that money throughout the year, what each person would take, 19,200, 2023 estimate. So the agricultural products include sugarcane, chicken, vegetables, milk, eggs, sweet potatoes, pork, coconuts, tropical fruits, spices. That's 2023. These are the top 10 based on tonnage. Their industries include tourism, sugar, light manufacturing, company assembly for export. Their labor force, 145,000. That's 2023 estimate. That is the number of people ages 15 or older who are employed or seeking work. Unemployment rate, 7.95%, 2023 estimate. So, I mean, it's a whole lot. The point I'm making is we can learn from that country. It can help us shift and change our mentality like other countries did. And that, for me, is more important than someone giving you 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, 500 million. That you are able to discover or rediscover yourself. That I helped to give good life as a country. I helped Liberia. I helped to give good life to some of these people when they needed it. Today, I need to find out how they are not perfect. They have their issues. Yeah. They are rated as one of the best countries in the world. Very small. But they are somewhere. How were they able to get electricity like this, water, sanitation, health. Send your people there. Spend some months there. Learn about those systems and come back home. That's what you do. The Liberian government, those places to attend school, they can be as expensive as Europe and the US. You know, send some of your students there in strategic areas for educational purposes. Tourism, they are big in tourism. We have a whole lot to do with tourism. You need your people to go there. This is what these things should be about. It's not about, oh, get me something, oh, I need something, oh, I need another one, oh, we get Liberia $50 million grant, oh, blah, 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 to go do this and that. Some people eat some. No! That's why you don't look. Well, I can understand it is the politics that we usually bring around these kinds of things. All the big names we've been associated with, we've been visiting, have been visiting us. Where has it moved us? We're still carrying the same beggarly mindset because these people are very far off from us. So we only expect aid from them. When you interact with somebody who you're supposed to be equal or that you're supposed to be better than, and they're doing better than you, then you become challenged. And put your resources to work. Because you have more than they do. So what on earth is the problem? Okay. Finally. Finally. Our guy will put up the stuff. So, you remember, was it last week? Yeah, we told you about the passing of our big brother Cletus Noah, who passed off the chief of office staff to former Finance Minister Samuel Toy. And then some accusations have been coming in, whether and so Eugene Nangbe wrote this letter to the police. So we want to read that. We want to read that letter quickly, do some analysis around it. And then we go to the lines and hear from you. At 5 o'clock, our guys will be here. So this is the letter. Written to Gregory Como, Inspector General, Liberia National Police. And this is what he says in the letter. I write to formally request a preliminary investigation to establish the existence of foul play, if any, into the recent death of Mr. Cletus Noah, who reportedly passed away on 4th May 2025. His death, which is deeply distressing, has now become a source of a personal attack on my character by the brother of the deceased, Mr. King Tozo. On 7th May 2025, Mr. Tozo contacted me via WhatsApp message and made a number of outrageous accusations, suggesting, among other things, that I, along with former Finance Minister Samuel D. Toy and others he referred to as henchmen, were somehow involved in the death of his brother, Mr. Cletus Noah. Mr. Tozo went on to threaten me, saying that I should wait for the burial and that he is coming for me. Kindly find attached screenshots and a transcript of the WhatsApp conversation between Mr. Tozo and me as evidence of the allegations and threats made by Mr. Tozo. These allegations are both serious and damaging not only to my reputation but also present a threat to my personal safety and security. To ensure that the truth is established and to dispel any misinformation or suspicion, I formally request that the Liberia National Police conducts a preliminary investigation into the death of Mr. Cletus Noah to determine whether or not there was in fact any foul play, let alone if I am implicated. As part of the police investigation into this matter, I encourage the LMP to contact Mr. King Tozo on WhatsApp number blah 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 to ascertain the sources and veracity of his outlandish accusations levied against my person. I believe that a formal investigation by the LMP will not only help establish the facts but also provide much needed clarity and closure to the grieving family of Mr. Cletus Noah. I am available should the LMP require any further clarification around this matter. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Regards, Len Eugene Nangbe, complainant. So, according to Eugene, Mr. Tozo, who is believed to be a brother, I think he's in the US or so, to Cletus, came in his WhatsApp inbox and made these allegations. What did I do? I contacted Mr. Tozo via WhatsApp, but he hasn't responded since the afternoon of yesterday before I could post the letter. I said, good day, sir. I'm Julius Jeh of OKF 99.5 in Monrovia. My condolences on the passing of your brother, who was like a big brother to me as well. I'm writing to you in relation to this letter written to the Liberia National Police by Mr. Eugene Len Nangbe. And I sent the letter. I say, is it true you made the allegations against him and from where? If yes, what is it that we need to know about the allegations? Did you inform the Liberia National Police about them? Those were the questions. He hasn't replied to me yet. But that is it. I think Mr. Nangbe did the right thing. It is easy for people to politicize these kinds of matters. We don't know what Mr. Tozo knows. But at least we've made efforts to reach out to him. The only thing is that I would think on such a grave matter, he will be getting to the police if he knows or heard anything. You know, that would be a place to start. But it is a good thing that Mr. Nangbe has written the police. And I think he was there at the police HQ today. We have been reliably told that they may do an autopsy on the body as well. All of those things are very okay. So that's the situation. From that end, we'll leave it hanging there. Finally, it is public knowledge now that Fonatikova has either resigned or will resign. Issue event today. I'm not sure I've seen the statement yet, but he posted talking about he's finished his course, he's run his race, and all of that. There was a legal process, and the legal process concluded and said he was speaker, he wasn't legally removed, and so the quote-unquote majority needed to go and do the constitutional thing to remove him if they wanted to remove him, do the right thing to remove him. Then came news conferences, the president weighed in talking about quorum and all of that, crossing over, some people come so, some people go the other way. He felt, well, I have won the judicial case, you know. At this point, yeah, nothing to fight for. We can now give way. And I can tell you we're making efforts to have him here on tomorrow because there are certain key questions we want him to answer. We'll see how that works, but we're trying. Now is the issue about election or no election. And I am wondering, why are we even, why do we even need to be having the discussion about election or no election? Why should we have that discussion? If all of you went to court and were awaiting the judicial process, and the process told you that this person was speaker and whatever you did was illegal, then you need to do the legal thing to right the wrongs that you did. It's as simple. You want to clear this over the country. You want to clear this from over yourselves. I don't know if we have had, since the war ended, if we've had that record of a pro tem or a speaker perpetually serving illegally, and that the court said you are illegal and the person continuously serve. I don't think so. Somebody can correct me, but I've been checking. I don't think so. And I don't think we want to set that record now. And I don't see where the fear is coming from. And I will encourage my own big brother, Richard Kuhn. You see, everybody knows that the Unity Party-led government wants Richard Kuhn as speaker. They feel comfortable working with him. He is a member and all of that, and they will do everything for him to be speaker. That one. Two, they already have the majority. What is required to do is to just do the legal thing and set the record straight. You don't want to. Kofa's resignation does not validate Kuhn's speakership. No. What it does is it creates a vacuum that we do not have speaker. That's the legal process. Constitutionally, according to the court, he was not removed constitutionally. So he was needed to be removed. So he was still speaker up to the time of his resignation. Was it today? Yeah. If he has already, because I know it's supposed to be today. So if he does, then there is no speaker. Then you all should go to election and just right the wrong. Then one, I can do it tomorrow, sir, when you return, or you put schedule it. If people don't want to waste time, you can do the election tomorrow and validate. You already have the numbers. Validate Kuhn's leadership as the speaker. It is an advice. It is the best thing to do in the interest of the image of the country. You like it, you ain't like it. If that election doesn't happen, people say you're armed towards, oh, no election, no election. As if you're afraid of some. What is the fear? You already got the numbers. In fact, it is the other part that you say, maybe if you poke off a election, say, that man run on white ballot. Because the numbers are in your favor. Perhaps there may not be competition. Of course, we're hearing that Musa Bilete wants to run and all of that. But the people that Musa Bilete get with him are in minority. There will be some of those that supported Kofa. It may not even be all of them to support him. With the backing of the overall executive administration, you've been able to hold on to your 40 plus members for a very long time. So any election, it is clear that you win. So do the right thing. Validate it, unless there's something else we don't know. But no matter what it is, go to election and make it proper. It is an advisor. The same things I said before, and everything came to pass, and we are where we are. Do that. 777-700-995. 555-995-995. You cannot circumvent the legal process. No, you cannot do that. You don't want people to keep referring to you as illegal speaker, illegal speaker, illegal speaker. 777-700. We've talked a whole lot of issues. You can pick any of them up, and you can have your say. The OK conversation is right here on OKFM 99.5. Okay. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Julius. Good afternoon, Julius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you very much for your topic. You know, but I listened to all your talking points. I just have to pick up one from there. The one I had to do with the driver.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying some of the police people, they get a Suzuka, they need to meet their target. I mean, I differ on that. Although they may have it, but let's look at the driver. I live in Martini Compound, Grand Bassa County, and I have my resident in Monrovia here. I on the road most of the time. The driver, they told them to get one person in the front, 4 at the back. They will 4 person at the back or 2 person in the front. They load the help of the car and the load almost the same. Why you want the traffic? I mean, the police what to do? They must get them gravy ready to eat, or they must kill cow and get in the hands of carry because why you are done.
Now, who
when you violate, you must get the penalty. When you violate, you must get the penalty for it. So they are saying they drink over there. They should have their person to be blamed.
Okay.
We travel on the road from here, Banga, all of the time. Maybe you don't travel, Julia, but we travel on the road from here there. The police,
but why are you talking like you getting involved with me? I am saying
I'm getting irritated because you are telling the police people that they get a Suzuka. It's wrong. They got to take it back.
So police will not have Suzuka?
You know, you will not be the one to be a player and at the same time be the referee.
Why you call player a referee? A police people don't beg me every day.
My brother, you live it with us.
Why you call live it with you when I myself know about it? They used to live it with you. You know how many times I've traveled on that road. You know how many times I've traveled on that road. Okay, see you now. See you. I expressed what the driver said. And I narrated my own experience. And that is the truth. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes. Good evening. Parents came calling from Ghana today.
Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, as you were saying that election is supposed to take place because the people sitting illegal. This is my question now. Then they are sitting. It can be you, it can be whosoever, any of the color can answer. Then they were sitting illegal and they're supposed to go for election. If they go for election, so what all they have been doing, we should consider illegal, everything should be revised. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so kindly as well. This is Funati's letter. Dear Honorable, letter of resignation. Dear Honorable Sayam, please inform the members of my resignation from the office of Speaker effective 12 noon today. In accordance with the Constitution and our rules, Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala will become presiding officer and acting Speaker until a new Speaker is elected. Please convey to the members my warmest regards and deepest gratitude for having elected me to serve the Liberian people in this capacity. That is it. That's what it is. Okay, let's see who's on this side. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Kindly, Big Brother Julius. The name Cabinet S. And I do join the national conversation this evening from Clarendon. Big Brother Julius, and I stay down, keenly monitor you. We did all of your analysis. Big Brother Julius, trust me, my political leader, who happens to be the most improved president currently in Africa, President Buckeye, is trying by all costs, right?
You said the who?
Yeah?
You said the who? The most who?
Yeah, you get fact check and you can
no,
check it
I said I didn't understand what you said, so I want you to repeat.
So I said President Buckeye remains the most improved president currently in Africa, right?
Who said so?
You can check it all. You have fact check segment.
No, but give me your source. Who said he's the most improved president?
Big Brother Julius. Let us. Hello?
What is the source of your information?
Big Brother, first of all, right? Let us go all right.
No, we're not going forward. You got to tell me the source of your information first. Then we'll go forward.
Okay. I will send the source of information.
No. But how you know the thing? You have said it. Then you can say what the so people say so group so finding so research say he's the most improved. You go up. I didn't cut you off. Just to back up your own saying, you gotta, before you say something, those are big claims. You should be able to know where they're coming from. But welcome, let's hear you.
Yeah, Julius, this is This is Brown Tate from Monrovia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and thank you so much for all the analysis that you have done. You know, people always ask a question when you talk about Kufa resign and there will be vacancy and there should be elections. And somebody will say, okay, send the people, they were sitting illegal, then the budget. But who wrote petition to the Supreme Court that the budget, the majority blood sign is illegal? Why you don't care before the court couldn't discuss that? What they care is that Ponadi said, I was not given due process.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the issue. Whatsoever that happened behind all these things, he never said that, the people ratify of financial agreement, do agreement, they are illegal because they were sitting illegal. No. So I see, the lawyer, even though I'm not a lawyer, but I listen to one lawyer who profoundly discussed these things. And I listened to Apple Man one time. He said, why you not carry before the court will not discuss it?
Okay.
So what we're discussing here is they don't give Cooper due process. That's what we're talking. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Let's see who's right here. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello.
JJ, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
D.R. here.
Mm.
Liberia is blessed to have you. The level of enlightenment is just beyond, it's just unmatched. If we have people that have the ears to listen, they will listen well and listen to the advice you give them. I know we understand to have bilateral agreements with the big countries, but Liberia stand to benefit a lot from this small nation, Barbados. Because the way I see it, they are moving, they are happy, their infrastructure, and every segment of their country is on track. Let's start with the water situation in our country. Mo Ali is the administrator of that entity, but the very individual he sent over there that gave us the information is the technician he left on ground. Wanted to tell us today that the man is on train where he knew further where he sent the individual there. To tell us that the man is on train, unqualified, means he himself has a problem, and we have to look at it. On another angle, if you even listen, if you just follow the visit of this country, do you know, Julius, when Elon Musk just made a call, I don't even know what the call was, even a real call. The whole entire social media got flooded. President Boyka had a conversation with the richest man in the world. Today, what has happened to that friendship? Zero.
We have become so accustomed to this feel good factor. Just to make us feel good. Oh, the other person that my friend. Oh, the other person. Yeah, we just.
It's the showmanship, Julius. Man said it's the showmanship. Just to say that yesterday we friended with these individuals. Look, what is the dividends? Look. The $2 billion. I don't know how much billion we're supposed to get from China. I don't know who will have received that money. But listen, these smaller countries, like you recommended, and I hope our people were listening. Send technicians here. Go there. Borrow their ideas. Why? How is it that they are moving? Our nation continue to be stagnated. What is the issue?
Why should a small number of people like that have a budget of $2.3 billion? Why? How?
Serious people. People who want to see their life transform. People who are tired with the destitution. They want to see their people live abject poverty for a better life. Look, if you have a vision, if you have the willingness to work for your people, like the guy is doing in Burkina Faso, where other leaders are going to take selfie with him. If you put your nation first, your people won't suffer. But you have people who don't believe in the rule of law, people who believe in greed, people who just want to make themselves, their family rich. That's what happened in Liberia. Liberia is not because we have all of the resources, we have everything in this country to make it better. But we have had wrong leader, like the very one we have right now. He's 80 plus years of age. You got a 37-year-old young man in Burkina Faso doing far better.
Sometimes it's not about what someone.
He's the best president in Africa.
There are old leaders that are doing well. So it is not about age or it is not about youth and all of those kinds of things. It's about doing what is right.
It comes with experience.
Sure, good.
It comes with integrity. It comes with enlightenment. It comes with so many positive attributes. And I have felt, and I still believe our president has those attributes, but he has to put himself together and forget about those people around and transform this nation for the better of all of us.
Thanks. So currently, Eric Byatt, let's take more calls. Welcome. Let's.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold you on, but
my
you're.
name is Francis,
Can you
and I'm sorry.
cut the radio off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, you can go ahead now.
Yeah, so like I said, my name is Francis. I'm a rider on a taxi
Mm-hmm.
from town going home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my attention has been drawn to the first issue you made against the police about they having a social card. To be honest, I think it's not right because I don't think there's any direct evidence to that effect.
Which one?
Yeah,
Which
that
one
you can show. Yeah, you said the police have a social card. So I don't think there's any direct evidence to it. Yeah,
Oh,
there's any
you didn't
direct
see.
evidence
You
to
didn't.
it.
You
Showing
didn't
them
see.
that
Hello.
they honestly
Hello.
have a social card.
Hello.
One, that's the first one. Let me tell me my two different points.
No,
then
but
check
I
out.
gotta ask you now.
My second point has to do with
Hello.
everybody like court.
Hold on now.
Everything
Hello.
in the past regime.
Hello.
Yeah, Julius. Yes.
Take it easy. Now. Let us clear the first one out. Did you
Yeah, but I will
see?
make 2 points. And
No. They're two different things. Did you see the police director post about plenty of monies that he took from police officers at checkpoints along the Ganta Highway? Hello?
Julius, I don't think that's still true that they have a social card.
Oh, so what is
Yeah.
your
I don't
point of
think that's
contention?
the one that I
Are
have
you arguing that they're not begging, they're not harassing drivers and taking money from them?
That means I don't have any direct evidence of that. So I can't speak to that.
You don't have evidence that police officer begging, that police officer can harass people and take money.
Honestly.
Okay. You can make your next point.
So my second point is that just on everybody that just make a statement. Eric was done and it's sort of a labor. Eric, what is different? What was the legacy? What excellent thing we made there that will come back to laugh at our current president that's trying to start to bring honor to the country? No, they see that it's just wrong. We can't keep keeping our leaders at stake. It's totally wrong.
What did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
Oh, Eric, you know when you Eric just go on the show and you heard what Eric even had blessing our current president.
And what did he say at the end?
He was just saying it wrong. Hello, you there?
So that text that you're writing in, are you the one driving it?
No.
Have you asked the taxi driver whether police have harassed him before, or they are begging for money?
I'll be asking the guy.
No, can you give the phone to the taxi driver? Let me talk to him.
Okay,
Yeah, okay. Let me.
he's driving.
Okay. Put the phone on speaker.
Okay, the phone is on speaker.
Taxi driver, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Where are the places that you are running?
I'm running on the Cinco Road for Inter to Red Line.
Okay. Police officers have begged you for money before? Have they harassed you for money before or not?
Yeah, they already done it to me in Red Line. They paid you for money? Yeah.
Oh, my man, lead the man to turn now. Let the man talk. Lead the man.
They told me, they took money from me. But they were not begging you for it. They took money from me. I sent them up Broad Street. They took whole education. They took money from me.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, driver. Thank you, yeah. Okay, caller. Thank you. Thanks so kindly. Thanks. For a Liberian man to be riding on car and challenge me, and say police officer can beg people for money. Man, that's so man. Anyway, let's just leave that one. We talk seriously about today, man. That's why I'll just passing order. Hey, all the serious thing we talk. Easy how they can do. Welcome. Why are you laughing? What's the name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, man.
No, you will kill me in the country, Julius.
I am very tolerant. I can tell my. Once you call and you are respectful, we will discuss the issue. You know, yeah. But go ahead.
Thank you. Anyway, I'm Mississippi. We're calling from Tower this evening or the afternoon. Look, Julius, we need to be serious. I always tell you guys this. We need to be serious in this country. That the unseriousness getting up to where we are today. Look, since they have made the police to be the topic, now all just pass over it. They think people can always say the lapper has.
But the police director himself, he caught his own men harassing people, begging money from people on the highway. He is a poster on Facebook. Then the man, I don't know.
For someone to argue, the only thing we need to be saying is let the trial, let the police be intelligent enough or professional enough to do things that they're supposed to do, and but not be rampant because we know that it cannot finish. That's all we're supposed to be talking about. But the thing that they're harassing people everywhere, everything, even the wheelbarrow rider and all police harassing them.
Okay.
Talking about political harassment, but all the more.
Sorry, Zizi, I have to let you go because our guest is here. Welcome, let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius. Good afternoon to the listening audience. This is Charles. Yes, I drive him from Morovia to Broadway this evening.
Go ahead, Charles.
It's just the show is so interesting this afternoon. Most especially when I listen to the guy who said, "Please don't ask."
Let him no fuss with the driver. Then
you ask the man to give the phone to the driver. That was the biggest joke of the century. And the thing is that once you're not behind the steering, you don't have a vehicle, you don't know what people pass through. Those are also have vehicles. I mean, Julia, you can even have all the documents correct, Chief. When the men reach the end of the day, they will take the kid or something. And for me, I just think it is because the salary that wages is very low and government is stepping up. The last time the police director brought the police to public rescue when he did that arrest on the highway. That's where he confirmed all the accusations being made by the all-the-time drivers. Because that money that the director displayed, it was collected from all-the-time drivers. Now, moreover, people that all-the-time drivers. I live in Broadway, I'm go Cape Man most of the time on the weekend. Julius, they got 2 police cars. They call them highway patrol. Look, because they get their own checkpoint.
The guys can go and create their own checkpoint apart from the existing ones.
The highway patrol people, they have their own checkpoint. Those are the guys that collect money from drivers like hell. It's very serious. It's not a joke. And to the issue of the speaker thing, Funati resigned today. And the Liberian people can now determine what is right and what is wrong for that country. This is the country that Joseph Boga created for us to disrespect the rule of law and allow people to have their will. So we do not have a speaker now, like he said. Tomorrow, Thomas Father should be the presiding officer. Anything other than that is saying an illegal process.
Okay, thanks so kindly. The second to last one, welcome. Let's hear you, Mr. David Coty.
Thank you very much for giving me the time. I'll be very brief. You know, when I hear people talk about this president is old, I just sit back and just laugh. They're speaking out of frustration. The presidency is not about age. It is about service and leadership.
Sure.
And it is also about not being an egomaniac.
Bagu.
That's right. It is
and also doing what is right.
Yeah. It is not also about being an egomaniac or rogue or thief. You know, this country has been backward not only because this president is in power. People are speaking that way because of frustration. They're frustrated because they were.
No, let us deal with the issue. Whether people are frustrated, it is still their right to talk. Whether they're not frustrated or that they are right, they're citizens. So the issues, once you deal with the issues, that's okay.
Okay, let me deal with the issue now. This president is wise, intelligent, and he's the best so far. Now, when you are an egomaniac, that's where the trouble is. Yes.
Okay.
Or thief. You get the power the first time, you save yourself first and build thousands of homes for yourself. You know, one thing that gave us trouble in the past administration is that most of our leaders were overgrown. When you have overgrown leaders leading a country, the country is in trouble.
What is the meaning of overgrown?
Overgrown means you are an adult, but you're still childish. all years. The first person I heard this from was Kofi Annan when he was Secretary of State, UN Secretary General.
Okay.
A frisky journalist asking a frisky question, and all he said to that frisky journalist is that you are overgrown. I mean, you are an overgrown boy. You know, you look mature, but you're still childish. An overgrown group, that when overgrown people lead a country, they look at adults, but it's still childish. And look, y'all need to hold me alone, man.
Okay. Thanks so kindly.
You're stealing every damn day.
No, Mr. Cody, you know you're not use those words. Stop that. Okay. This person says, Julius, what is the color of your problem? Senior man has some ability says, hey, Julius, you really made that guy to swallow his shimo. Yeah, I know he just arguing with the driver inside there. Julius, people in Vattown have been regular harassing points for Liberia National Police officers and the MCC police. They embarrass Keke drivers for no reason. Okay. The final one would be Jonathan P. Lily. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure how much credit, but thank you so much for this.
How you be talking about credit, brother?
Yeah, you know, there's a brother, it's a Ibro Pale. I don't know, I'm not corporate probably. He started by making a point, but he spotted in the end. I mean, the greed about people coming to power and amassing wealth for them. That is their form.
No, I think he fixed it in the end. He was trying to spoil it in the middle, and I put him back on track, and he fixed it in the end.
But the fact that he referred to Joseph Walker, he said like the president that we have now, if there should be any example to set about people amassing wealth, it should be George Weah. This young guy, he was not old. He took power with a youthful exuberance. But the only exuberance he exhibited here was to amass property for himself. And even when here he saw that. So if you are raising a national issue that should be discussed for us to find a path, you can set a wrong example. Joseph Walker, as a president, what has he amassed for himself? As compared to George Weah, who in the first 10 months of his presidency, he did 50 condominiums for himself, he broke down his property on 9th Street, and he prioritized himself over national interest. So if there should be any example to set, it should be the person that you will serve honor.
Okay.
But when you raise national discussion for people to look into it, you don't try to miss the boat.
Okay. Thanks.
You can't try to talk longer than this.
Okay.
You can't be emotional in discussing national issue and missing the mark.
Thanks so kindly.
Joseph Walker, see a lifestyle. See Joseph Walker lifestyle. John Weah and his crew were insulting him for living in a house that he did 40 years ago. He went to Buchanan, he was saying this man was president. He had never changed the building that he had. So is that why we should be?
Even though he has upgraded it now.
No, the thing is that the fact that the man still lives in the house that he lives in. One favorite thing that Joe Burger has around the country. Go to Baptist Seminary and see the euro that Joe Weah did for himself there. So is it what a leader should do so that he can be seen as doing the right thing for his people? Then even of all person will say that. I mean, it's just something.
Okay.
We want time to talk about this.
Okay. Thanks so kindly, Mr. P. Lily. Very interesting. Very, very interesting conversation here. Okay. A very quick break. Our guest is here. I think it's like a continuation because we are going to go deeper into the issue of IQ. I told you he's one of the very, very high-level thinkers, talkers, education development experts. So he comes with a whole lot, apart from being a man of God, he has this whole lot of experience. And trust me, this is a show you do not want to miss for anything in your life. People like this, we don't bring them often, but when we bring them, it is to make impact. This quick break.
Che, the way they falling like this, I'm not getting on air to go transfer money to my son.
My friend, you know hear about the new app here in town?
But what kind of apps again?
Ghana Cash. It makes sending money easier like beans and bread.
You really mean that? Ma, tell me more about this app here.
You can send money from Liberia to Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, even Guinea. You can also receive money too.
Tell me something. Then you mean I can't get on the ring here?
No standing in line business. Anywhere you see Ghana Cash sticker or logo in money changer area, shops and bank, go there and transfer your money to your phone. So you can be able to send money anywhere, anytime at your convenience. They are located on 14th Street Single, Rossier Avenue.
Ma, Thank you for the so money, Jesus.
It's an app you can download on your phone and you can just send money to your family and loved ones. Go to Play Store and download Kana Cash. Just tap KANACASH. Kana Cash. With Kana Cash, you can send and receive money from 170 countries, including USA, Canada, and India.
Anywhere that you go to.
Your cars, generators, and other machines can last much longer when you use the right kind of petroleum products to power your engines. Sonic Group, located on Bushwood Island, is dealer and distributor of high-quality petroleum products across Liberia at available prices. At Sonic Group, we sell and distribute high-quality petrol, gas, and diesel fuel to fueling stations across the nation. Our highly trained, professional, and customer-friendly staff are always waiting and ready to serve you. We deliver your petroleum products to your destinations on time. No worries. Power your engines with the right kinds of petrol, oil, and gas today and save time and money. Come to Sonic Group, your one-stop distributor of high-quality petrol, oil, and gas. We are located in a BMC building opposite UBA Bank, just a block away from LPRC on Bushwood Island. For more information, call 0777-062-441 or 0886-473-164. Sonic Group, spinning the wheels of oil and gas in Africa.
For years, finding someone home in Liberia has been very challenging. Getting direction is a big problem. People only depend on landmarks.
Yeah, my man, go beyond the market. Just take the second left. Right after that yellow house you see right over there. Then you just walk, when you pass by that plum tree you see over there. You find a place?
Now, Liberia is making history with its national digital addressing system. Now, every home, businesses will have a precise digital addressing system that will make it easy. Look, with this new digital addressing system, anyone can find your house with just an address from the digital system. No more confusing directions. With digital addresses, finding location is faster and very accurate. Well, no more guesswork anymore. Entrepreneurs like Tewa can see her business grow and reach her client very easily with no stress.
Wow, this new digital system is a game changer for my business. So I can deliver my goods in no time and with precise location.
With this system, law enforcement officers can reach a location safely and accurately.
Father, you are the God who spoke life and its tardiness into being. Time after time, it has remained constant because you are time.
This is the OK Conversation.
You legislate.
We have the final hour here now. We have with us David Woos Besa, who is here with us to share some insights, some life and some light. Forever he's God. Okay, let's hold that one from MCMC and let's go across the table now and say, welcome, sir.
Thank you, Julius. It's a pleasure to be here.
The last time you were here, we were discussing education, how we can improve it. Did it fall on fertile soil?
I will leave that for the public to be the judge. I wouldn't want to be the judge.
Okay. Now, we call you here today. We started a couple of weeks ago a discussion on IQ, intelligence quotient, and how it impacts countries and all those kinds of things. And we thought, okay, it was good to bring you in, given your vast experience in education in these kinds of areas, mindset, and all of that. What's your general overview of the Liberian IQ? Your general impression.
Well, my general impression is that we are not at the point or level that we can say that overall, on average, we are at a higher percentage. And there are factors responsible for that. When you look at the way the average person or the common person or individuals behaved, it speaks a lot. There seems to be an absence of what is termed as common sense. In most cases, you have to actually bring common sense to the table. If not, you wouldn't find it. And that has impacted several aspects of our lives as a country. It has impacted our education system. It has impacted our economic system. It has also impacted on national development. There are many issues that we could say are contributing factors, but like what your report that you share with me says, mainly for Liberia and Sierra Leone, is hugely attributed to conflict. And indeed, on that point, I don't conclusively agree with the overall findings, but on the point of conflict being a contributing factor, definitely I am in agreement. The generation that we have currently that's in leadership in this country is the generation that came out of the war. It's the war generation that lost almost their early childhood years in conflict and tension, running from one place to another. The environment was toxic. Violence was the order of the day. You got things by being violent, not by being intellectually engaging. You saw people who perpetrated violence were the one rewarded with public offices. So violence became a culture that young people learn. And as IQ is influenced by interactions, experiences, so also is violence in the mind.
There is a mention about poverty there.
Poverty has a contributing factor, and where poverty contributes is on the issue mainly of nutrition. Mm-hmm. And I brought some facts for you. Mm-hmm. I went back into my hard drive and I found a lot of things that will.
And let me just let the public know that you're also an instructor. Are you still teaching at a university?
Currently, I'm not teaching at a university, but I'm currently designing education programs for higher education institutions and for governments now.
Different countries. I know you work with different countries.
Yeah.
To mention some, Rwanda,
Ethiopia. Ability. And intellectual ability is impacted by brain capacity. Mm-hmm. And brain capacity is developed to its fullest in the early years of a child. So the first thing you need to understand is that 90% of a child brains develop by age 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By age 5. Mm-hmm. And most children by age 5 are stunted in Liberia. According to the Global Hunger Index, Liberia is currently at 29.8% in terms of under 5 that are stunted. Mm-hmm. Under 5 stunting rate is about 29+%, almost 30%. And when children are stunted, it has an impact on their brain development. There is a correlation between stunting and brain development. So you will also find out that there are other contributing factors. Nutrition is not just the only one. Immunization to prevent certain diseases.
Which is the health area.
The health area. And then also protection, which has to do with the toxic environment, stress, violence, abuse, hazards, conflict. And then there is the stimulation aspect, which is the responsive caregiving that looks into play, reading, talking, socialization. All of these things help to develop the brain. Now, several things develop from birth to age 5. Your binocular vision developed within that, emotional control developed within that period. And sometimes when kids are crying and they want certain things and parents don't know exactly how to handle that, they tend to see it as the child being very, very baby-minded, like we say here. And then they spank the child, they do other things. But no, that child is learning emotions, how to express their emotion, and you can help them develop better emotional control. So during that period, they also learn social skills, language. Believe you me, a child up to 8 years can learn close to about 8 different languages. So the brain is structured in the way what we use, it enhances. What we don't use is basically go into dormancy. Mm-hmm. That's why you hear adults say, it's hard for me to learn a new language now, because the stage that your brain was very active to have learned a couple of languages, you've passed it. So it's a lot more difficult now for you to learn that. Now, when we look at the impact on society and look at the early years, right? The years with the highest return on investment for any society is the preschool years, which is the early childhood years. And I don't want to say that. You can look at this, is a groundbreaking research. You can see the height of the return on investment and which year has the highest return.
Economic returns to society, returns to investment in programs from infancy to young adulthood, benefits per dollars invested. So preschool $7.94 is way up there. Infancy is $4.42.
Mm-hmm.
Prenatal is $3.01. School age $1.66. Youth job training 45 cents. Invest early, maximize results. Annual rates of return 7 to 20%. This is Ronick et al. 2011 research.
Yeah, and more to that, there's something else you need to know, that when we do proper investment into quality programs at that level, children and adults earn 50% higher income when they become adults. The likelihood is that they are 50% less likely to get arrested or ever go into any prison system. They are 20% more likely to graduate from high school, and they are 28% less likely to develop alcohol or drug problems. But when we don't invest in the early years, here what's happened. With a high quality early childhood education, at-risk children are 25% more likely to drop out of school. Children dropping out of school is mostly linked to lack of investment in the early years. They are 40% more likely to become a teen parent, teenage pregnancy. Look at any country where investment is not in the early years, the number of teen parents will increase. I was in Mozambique and working with the government, and Mozambique has one of the highest teen parent rate. And guess what? It's a country that had not paid attention to the early years. So I've been basically working with them to build a system and infrastructure for investment into the early years. Now, they are 50% more likely to be placed in special education. They are 60% more likely to never attend college. They are 70% more likely to be arrested for violent crime. Now you see all the consequences of not investing in the early years. Let me bring you Liberia problem. Mm-hmm. Under President Salif, there was the push for the Education for All campaign, and basic education was declared free and compulsory by law. Before President Salif left power, I remember it was her last State of the Nation address, and through public policy, she declared secondary education free. That was in her last State of the Nation address. When President Weah came to power, he declared higher education tuition free. No one president from President Salif to now had tried to pay attention to early childhood education. Do you know early childhood education is the only level of education in our education system that children still pay fees?
Mhm.
And there is no law that eradicates the fees?
Even in the public.
Even in public schools? And that is one of the biggest barrier to access for the early years. So you can see when the report says that we are at this level in IQ, I wouldn't want to disagree. Something else you need to understand. I will show you two pictures of a normal brain of a 3 years old and an extreme neglect brain or child that is neglected without the basic inputs, how their brain looks like. Please look at this. Maybe your viewers can see.
Yeah, you can just show it to the camera there.
Good.
So
So you can see this is the normal brain, but look at the brain that is impacted by neglect without nutrition and everything. You see how skewed it is? Now you tell me, put these two children in one classroom. Who you think will pick up fast? And instead of us taking responsibility for these children with very low IQ and not responsive to academic lessons, we are blaming them for being slow learners. And we actually punish them for not learning fast.
worsening the situation.
Worsening the situation when they themselves are actually the victim. Now, let's go beyond that. If you don't focus at that level, your nation IQ rate will always be low. You will have poor learning outcomes, poor cognitive ability, impaired behavioral development. That's why you see people up, sorry to say, but up Capitol Hill can try to take off their clothes and fight. And they neglect the fact that they are called, there is a reason for that word, honorable. It means that your behavior should be quite distinct from the rest of the others. But again, if an honorable brain was not fully developed, emerged out of the civil conflict, knew only violence as a way to solve problem, he goes on living that way. So, we are in a situation as a country where we need to redefine what development outcomes we need for citizens. When we define what development outcomes we need for citizens, then we identify from the different key sectors, including education, health, and agriculture. Because this is the simple truth. Without capacity, there is no development.
Mm-hmm. And I have always argued that nations cannot develop beyond the mental capacities of the citizens.
Of the citizens. Nowhere in the world. Nowhere in the world. I was in South Sudan and I was working with the government and I did a national diagnostics. And by the time I revealed the findings to the Minister of Education, he was like, no, this cannot be. As struggling as South Sudan has been emerging out of civil conflict, by the time we presented the evidence, the next year, South Sudan increased her early childhood budget from 3% to 11%. They became one country in all of Eastern Africa with the highest education budget allocated to pre-primary. Immediately after that, we worked with them to develop their national policy for early childhood education in terms of crafting the pathway to improve IQ. And you cannot change any system without changing the mindset of the people who are in the system. And how do you change the mindset of the people in the system? You have to target the people based on the relevant intervention needed. And at this point, it's at the early years. If we cannot deal with the issue of stunting, if our early childhood programs are not of quality, we are only replicating the issues. If we don't have the relevant skill set to be able to harness those abilities in those children if we don't have the right people who understand the system to influence it for positive.
Let's take it another step higher. So, yeah, the childhood issues could be there, and you are an adult. You are growing up. Let's come to the effect of IQ on personal development. How can an individual, despite all of these challenges, how can you break free from this problem of a low IQ in your own personal life to make it better before we come on the national scene individually?
So IQ can be enhanced, it can be influenced. So as a person, if you want to improve your IQ, you need to first identify your environment in which you exist. When I say exist, means the people you socialize with,
friends, places you go,
the places you go, the things you read. I met a young man recently and I asked him, how many books have you read? He said, I've never read a book before. And this guy is in university. And he's about 22 years old. When I was his age, I've already read close to 200 books. And the family person you want to be, you need to set those goals, ambitious goals. And if you can